Okay, it is May 1st. I can't believe I'm saying that already. I figured it was time to give you an update of what's been going on inside our greenhouses. Things have changed a little bit since when I was out here shooting my videos of just potting up these greenhouses, which feels like it was just yesterday, but it's actually, oh geez, a couple months now. So let's take a peek at what's going on. All right, so overall the greenhouses are filling up fast. And I have to say, big shout out to my mom, who's still holding on out there, working her a few hours a day. But Amanda, our new grower, just got thrown to the wolves this year. Actually, the crops were already rolling in for about 2 weeks before she even stepped foot in the door. And so for us, that really is throwing somebody to the wolves. So she's been doing an awesome job. Chloe's out there helping her out as best they can. And collectively, it's all coming together. And so our plants are filling out. Everything in here, we kind of rotate. This is our main greenhouse. And so it's about a 100-foot house that is kind of our, what would you call it? Just like our nursery. This is where the plants come in, and then they just get potted up in here. They get put in here, get the heat for a little while. Once the roots are up and running, we move them over to another greenhouse. Let's take a peek around. So pretty much the last time I was shooting videos, we were potting everything up. Those plants would get done in those main greenhouse, and then we transfer them into this other greenhouse where we just call it a cold frame. What a cold frame just means is it's an unheated greenhouse. And so again, it's another 100-foot house, but we started cheating in the fact that this house, although it doesn't have a formal heating system, we do use a space heater to kind of keep the temperature up a little bit, because a lot of these plants, we control growth with temperature. And so as some of the petunias and things that tolerate the cold nights, this unheated greenhouse will normally keep it about 10 degrees warmer than outside. And then we throw in those deep cold nights, we'll throw a bullet heater in here to kind of take the edge off of it. But it helps naturally keep plants like petunias and some of the angelonias and stuff that are going to try stretching here as things grow out. We just pot them up in here and let them in the cold nights, and that helps keep them short. So one of the things that we've always done here, and I have to back up a little bit. 25 years ago when I first started at Agway, we didn't grow anything. I had to buy everything in. And one of the things that I always had a challenge is we'd come into Mother's Day and then Memorial Day, big weekends for us in the planting industry. Kind of Mother's Day kind of kicks off the season, lets you know you're kind of past the frost state. First round of hanging baskets starts to need to look great for Mother's Day. I have to say, right on track. But one of the things that was happening is we'd get in these big, beautiful hanging baskets right before Mother's Day, and I'd load up the greenhouses, and then we'd sell a bunch of plants that weekend, and then sure enough, I'd go to reorder that Monday, and they would come in looking like they were little baby starter plants. And we went from one weekend, big, beautiful plants, to small. So started realizing early on it was getting very difficult to try to figure out not just timing on what we wanted, but being able to consistently get suppliers that would give us the quality of plant we wanted, when we wanted, and on our schedule. And here in Southern Rhode Island, our schedule is completely different, because a lot of the suppliers are out in Connecticut and New York, and they're going and shipping all over the place, up and down the East Coast. So what I was finding is that, especially here where we're so close to the water, the plants just weren't available when we needed them. So we started growing our own. And what that did was it gave us much better control over timing. It gave us much better control over availability, but also what chemicals and what treatments were being put to the plants. So you can see with some of these greenhouses, we're always playing around with how to control the plant's growth naturally, as best we can. Sometimes we need to pull in chemicals. It's kind of like the lawns. It's hard to control plants' growth, and it's hard to get the timing perfect without needing to pull out some insecticides and such. But by growing them ourselves, we can control what we use, how we use it, and when we use it. Now, speaking of insecticides, it's one of the biggest things that I wanted to do also that made us have a little bit more control over what and how we grow. Most people don't realize we grow about 90% of the plants that you see inside our retail store. So it's a small store, but we cram a lot in there. And we've got 300-foot houses here that are unheated, that are all full of plants. This is all full of our proven winter perennials. And that means you can't have this many plants and not get some insects. However, we can choose how we control those insects. So first of all, prevention. We're always trying to keep things clean, organized as best we can. Then what we started using is that we learned these natural insecticides. Basically, we use 2 or 3 products. One of them is called a molting hormone. It's from a neem extract. It is natural. I can't say it's certified organic because that's another conversation. I feel that just to be able to say organic does not mean safe. Organic just means that it's from natural sources. So please don't be fooled by that saying that says organic is just safer and natural. Anything that kills insects is a poison and should be treated with respect. So how we do it here is we use a molting hormone. And so we're spraying one product that just stops the insects from going from their juvenile stage to an adult stage. Therefore, if they can't get from one life cycle to the next, they die off. Then we're using another product that is a biological, it's a fungus. It's basically giving the insects a cold. And so what it does is we're giving them a really bad infection and we're stopping their ability to molt from one phase to the next. That means when we go through and have to take care of our insects and focusing on preventatives, we can take care of them and be very successful at controlling insects. Does that mean we occasionally have to pull out a systemic insect? Absolutely. There are times. But if we're doing our job right and we're staying on it and working on prevention, we can avoid 95% of the chemical uses. And we can ensure that we're not putting any chemicals on any of our herbs or vegetables. So although I don't go and buy extra to get certified organic, we do grow our own, and then we make sure we just don't apply anything to it. So that's it. I have to say the plants are coming out phenomenal. All these cool nights and the cool weather has been helping keep the crop cool. It's just stopping you from wanting to buy them. But the weather is changing. The sun is finally out. Yes, the sweatshirt is still on, but at the same time, every day the sun's out and it's time to plant. So yes, it is May 1st. You do have to watch. Like some people have been coming in and taking advantage of this crop. This is about another 50 or so of the big rockin' fuchsias that we grew specifically to help out with the hummingbird crops. And what I mean by that is, here's my theory on the hummingbirds. I know this has been a long one, but we grow out these big rockin' fuchsias early in the season to get some flowers. Right now, the hummingbirds are migrating from Mexico up to wherever they're going. So there's very few flowers that are just starting to pop out. All these trees and bushes are starting to go, but the selection is not as high for them yet. So my thought process has been, if you get these big plants out now while they're migrating, you'll get their attention early. But again, even more important, why we're not using insecticides on them. But overall, that's it. The greenhouse is doing great. Plants are looking great. All these plants are starting to make their way into the store. And I hope you come on and enjoy this beautiful weather we're starting to get. Buy a few plants because there's 4 more greenhouses in the other property that I need to get empty soon. Thanks. Take care. Bye.